Hey everybody, welcome to Left Paw Gaming. Today I'm excited to be bringing you another video for Ghost of Tsushima. Last video ended with us beating the game finally. This video we're going to jump in and talk about my review, my take on the final product. Also, you're going to get to see me get the last few trophies to go platinum. So let's jump in and see what it's all about. The first of the 4 trophies that I'm going to get is real quick. I'm going to get it right here. But before I do that, I want to tell you a little bit about how my review is going to work. I'm going to break it down into 5 key segments that I think are the best things to rate a game on. The world, gameplay, story, combat, and finally the replayability. Before we jump into those, we're going to take a look at the easiest of the last 4 trophies that I have, which is the Cooper Clan Cosplayer, which is an homage to the Sly Cooper games, also made by Sucker Punch. The last piece we need is going to be this Gosaku's armor. Put that on, jump out of the menu real fast. Boom! Trophy earned. Cooper Clan Cosplayer. Alright, 1 down, 3 to go. Let's jump into the first topic for the review. Let's talk about the world. When I say world, I mean the game world. How full is it? How are the graphics? How's the lore? How's the size? How does it all come together? This game in particular is full of stunning visuals. Everywhere you look, you see something that's like, damn, that could be my new screensaver. And you just look around and that's everywhere. The game itself is immense. The storyline, pretty short, easy to navigate, but the world is so full of things in every corner of the map. And sometimes while traveling from objective to objective or quest to quest, the travel can be kind of daunting because of how big the map actually is. You can still fast travel, or as I like to do during the main story, I just hoofed it the whole damn time. You can call your horse with an easy press of a button and just travel. Enjoy everything you see, stumble upon all the new hidden wonders that are throughout the world, and you just have a good time. So to me, the game world is amazing, stunning, and something I would enjoy playing constantly, which I did because I platinumed the game. The next thing that I want to jump in and talk to you guys about is going to be the gameplay. For me, the gameplay boils down to what the game has to offer, right? The missions, the mission style, the side quests, the hidden goodies. What is it that the world that I just talked about has to offer? The missions in this game are called tales. Every tale is either self-contained or part of a larger plot line. The main story, you'll see gold markers throughout the map that'll direct you and move the gameplay forward to unlock more of the map and more awesome places to see. Other tales are white markers throughout, and those are side quests or longer tales for main characters. Additionally, there are 7 special quest lines that are considered mythic tales. These special quest lines give you a deeper dive into the lore of the island of Tsushima. They give you an insight to the legends that came before Jin's tale even begins. Main story missions are a lot easier to find. They're indicated by a gold marker on the map, while the side missions are the white markers, as I said. But the side missions are more word of mouth than anything. They don't just populate on the map throughout the story. You have to bump into people, hear people talking about things in different towns. Same thing with mythic tales. Mythic tales are given to you by this singer, this person who's mysteriously around at different places that wants to tell you new stories about Tsushima. The gameplay for each of these missions is all up to you. You can attack them in either stealth or straight up samurai upfront combat. The choice is yours, and it's a lot of fun no matter what you choose. I chose the path of kind of mixing it up a little bit, using some stealth and sometimes just getting out there and pounding on fools. It just depends what you're looking for. And as you unlock some of the awesome things that you can do as the ghost, it makes it a lot tougher to choose to be the regular samurai, let me tell you that. Talking about the gameplay is nothing without talking about the next topic, and that's the story. The story to me is how believable is it, the depth, and the emotional appeal. Those are the main things that I look for in a good story. Believability to me is very subjective because it's based on how well the rules of the world are upheld within the story. Take, for instance, superheroes, right? We know that there are special powered beings in the world. We know that going in so that we can understand and believe that what they're doing has weight, regardless of the immense power that they may have. So, the believability in Ghost of Tsushima is built upon samurai. Samurai was a real legit thing that happened, and a lot of what Jin is able to do as a samurai isn't very far-fetched in my mind from seeing. While some of the abilities that he gains from the mythic tales, those are a little bit more far-fetched, but the world is sound enough that it allows you to have these small, subtle leaps into the extraordinary and build his legend, which is what the story's all about. Now, to talk about the depth, Ghost of Tsushima offered a lot of depth because of the struggles that Jin goes through with deciding, do I stand with the samurai honor system, or do I do something more? Do I become something more to save my home and my people? And watching what he goes through and seeing how the story unfolds, it really adds a sense of depth, and that hits on the emotional appeal as well, especially when you see what happens to him throughout the story. Now, the story itself is broken into 3 phases, or 3 acts as the game calls it. The first act is very basic. It kind of gets you used to the controls and everything like that, and you get used to moving around as Jin and developing your skills as a samurai and learning some of the new ghost skills. The second act opens up another part of the map and allows you to further deep dive into that. You really have to start deciding if you want to side more samurai or ghost, because those choices really matter. As you get your skill points and you apply them, that's going to dictate how you need to play the game going forward. The third act really brings you down to the end game. The whole map opens up for you, and you really have to hammer down. You can get super overpowered just by doing some of the side stuff before you even get to the main mission, and it's so addicting that it'll be really easy for you to do that. Trust me. Having an amazing story automatically sets a tone for how the game's going to be overall. The second biggest thing to me that really defines how the game's going to be is the combat. Now, all games offer some varying degree of story, and the big separation in my mind is what separates that story, what makes this game entertaining and engaging, that separates it from a book or a movie. Well, the fact that gaming is interactive media and you get to play as the main character and write your own story within the confines of the story that's pre-written for you going into the game. The combat is something that is such a story-driven mechanic, right? You have to beat this boss to move on to the next point of the story. You have to complete this objective to move on to the next point of the story. And how do you do that? You do that with the combat. The combat in Ghost of Tsushima, as you've been seeing this whole video that's playing in the background, is amazing. I love every single part of it, how it builds, how you utilize it, all the different pieces that come together. You have one weapon, essentially. Bows are secondary in this, but you have one sword. You only use one type of sword the entire game. Bows, you get 2 different kinds. They do varying levels of damage, but then you have these other tools that supplement your sword play, and it's all about getting better as a swordsman, utilizing these other tools to help you move forward. These other tools that you're given are defined as ghost tools. These ghost tools are things that you acquire as you progress in the story and dive deeper into becoming the Ghost of Tsushima, which is what happens as your legend builds. Now, when I said everything else supplemented your swordplay, it's because these ghost weapons are designed as distractionary weapons. You throw things such as kunai, smoke bombs, black powder bombs, wind chimes, firecrackers, all things to throw your enemy off and give you the upper hand in the swordplay. Also, the swordplay breaks down into 4 segments, essentially. You learn different stances, which I think is awesome. Different stances that allow you to combat different enemy types better. Allows you to break their stagger gauge and give you the upper hand in what you're supposed to do. And that's defeat every single Mongol that attacked the island. To me, the learning curve for combat was very quick and easy to understand. You start out with a couple of buttons, a regular attack, and a heavy attack, and a block, and a parry. Everything from there just upgrades. You get better parries, better blocks, better abilities at dodging, better heavy attacks, better combinations. It all grows with the stances that you acquire, and you develop them into your arsenal. Now that we've talked about the major components of the game itself, I want to talk a little bit more about something that is a direct result of what the game has done with every aspect I talked about so far, and that is the game's replayability. Now, for some, replayability could be, how many times would I be okay playing this game over and over again? To me, I think replayability is how much do I want to jump in and play this game on a given day. Is this a game that I'm okay with leaving to the wayside for a little bit and just picking up whenever, or do I want to play this constantly? That to me really defines replayability, along with, is this something that I can pick up and just play again and enjoy from start to finish, no matter what? Now, I will concede that some games circumvent that replayability aspect, being able to pick it up every day constantly, by having an engaging multiplayer aspect to it. I'm specifically talking about replayability from the storyline aspect. How often do I want to jump in and play this game from start to finish, or how often do I want to jump in and do more of the missions that are in the game as is? Replayability to me really boils down to a couple of things. One, how well the game executes showing off the world, how engaging the gameplay is, how awesome the story is, and how well the combat really pulls you in and makes you want to keep slashing at the enemies or keep doing whatever the combat style is for that particular game. Ghost of Tsushima hit on all levels for me. The story was ridiculously engaging. I was emotionally brought in and invested to everything that was going on. The gameplay was really fun, sleek, some issues here and there, but for the most part, nothing that I can complain about openly. The world was full of amazing looking things and very full just in general with the population and everything that you could do from corner to corner of the map. There was always something going on. And finally, the combat. The combat for me was so much fun. I never got enough of trying to get better at winning standoffs or just trying to take zero damage. Trying to set personal goals for yourself is something that, if a game can make you do that, then they're doing a great job. And to me, that is what hits on replayability at its finest. Reviewing Ghost of Tsushima would seem incomplete without giving it some kind of a rating. At the end of the day, that's what everybody cares about in a review, right? What would I give this rating? Well, how would I even rate a game? To me, I'm looking for, as my channel shows you, the ultimate experience. I want to see a game that is delivering on everything that I just talked about in this video, which is the world, gameplay, story, combat, and replayability. As I said, Ghost of Tsushima hits on all of that. So I'm willing to bet that this game is an ultimate game experience, and that's why I'm going to rate it as an ultimate game. To me, an ultimate game is the topmost tier of gaming, and why I'm thinking that Ghost of Tsushima is a good runner for Game of the Year. It's also why I did absolutely everything to get every single trophy in the game, like you're seeing pop up on the screen right now. I was able to platinum this game because I was so engaged with the world, the gameplay, the story, and the combat that I could not put this game down. And I'm happy to say that I have done everything, and I hope you will too. So there you have it, guys, my review of Ghost of Tsushima while getting the last 4 trophies to platinum the game and finally say that I have done everything that this game has to offer. Will I play it again? Probably. I'll take a little bit of time away from it because I put so much time into this game. But now it's your turn. Let me know in the comment section below what you think of my review and what you think of Ghost of Tsushima if you were able to play it and beat it as well. As always, thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm coming at you guys in the next video with some new stuff. We'll see you next time.